not this one specifically, but the genre. And I just discovered this has a Baby Spice sticker on the back of it, which I was not aware of. That's the problem with these guitar techs. They've got your stuff for so long, you don't even know what's happened in your absence. Like, who would do this? I had to talk with that guy.
What about string preferences, pick preferences? Do you care?
I use Dunlop 88, I believe is the number of the thickness, .88. Usually a Tortex because I just like the grip of it. And strings, well, the good people at Dean Markley supply me with these blue steel strings, which I know are very high end. I've yet to determine whether they're any better than the regular strings due to the freezing process. But you know, it's always 10 to 46, just normal lights. Sometimes I go 10 to 52, depending on what, like some recording things, you get a little better low end out of it, but in general it's just normal, you know, off the rack. I'm very off the rack. I started out with the Beatles. I wanted to be George Harrison. We have the same birthday. The first music I ever learned to play was Beatles songs, and I immediately liked George. I wanted to be the lead guitar player who didn't say so much and had the fangs. And after that, I got into Angus Young and Malcolm. Malcolm, who's the unsung hero of that band, without any question. They're both amazing, but Malcolm is so valuable. And then that's right hitting the cusp of punk, because, you know, once again I started playing and being interested in punk rock music when I was 14. And through that I discovered a guitar player named Captain Sensible, who is the guitar player for The Damned on and off for many years, and that was the main influence for punk music, was this guy, because he was somebody who played guitar solos, which was relatively unheard of within that genre, but he did it quickly, and he, you know, much like Bad Religion uses them, it was a tool, not a show-off thing. He looked really cool, and he played cool guitars, and stylistically I stole a lot from him. You know, it happened almost immediately once I became involved in punk rock music, because that's one of the basic tenets of it, is that you don't have to be proficient. It's really about your mind and the energy. And so I just started playing guitar. I guess I was imitating, obviously, the early records I had, Clash records, Pistols and stuff like that, but it really kind of came into its own quickly, because the first band I was in was a band called Minor Threat, which, you know, now that we've gone 17 years down the road, looking back on it, it was really one of the first bands that you would call hardcore. And not to say that we invented this sound, because we certainly didn't, but Minor Threat definitely was an innovator. And so whatever Minor Threat was kind of became my style, and it's interesting because it's still true. I mean, early Minor Threat songs were a lot faster than most of our contemporaries, and it really was about the right hand. And for an example, I mean, it's very simple, but I've learned this specific, it's like in my DNA now, this strumming pattern that Minor Threat taught me, which is this. It's always a gallop, which is basically just how the songs were written and how the drummer played. It turned into that becoming a stylistic thing. So I kind of was lucky to stumble into my thing just as a product of being in the band. And that's consistent, you know, it's carried through till now.
So after Minor Threat?
Minor Threat, Dag Nasty, Government Issues, Sam Hain, The Meatmen, Junkyard, Bash and Pop, Bad Religion, I think. There's some other ones too, I don't remember.
And did each of those sort of leave you with a stylistic twist, or
yeah, absolutely.
Or were there certain more than others?
No, each thing was its own animal. I mean, Junkyard was like a Motorhead Southern rock band, and I learned a lot of stuff that I don't really use now, but it's great at parties. I learned how to, you know, I learned a little boogie woogie, let's put it that way. A lot of stuff I never would have known before that. That crap. I know how to do that now. Dag Nasty was not as fast punk rock, and it's kind of where I pioneered that thing that we talked about, lots of ringing notes, and as I already did, that crap. Everything else was just kind of, you take it piece by piece. I guess that's the best way I can describe it.
you seeing these young whippersnapper punk rock outfits coming out doing anything innovatively different? Or
With a guitar, no. People I like right now with a guitar, I like Matthew Sweet, who's older than I am. I like Jason Faulkner, who's a singer-songwriter who lives out here in Los Angeles. Not a lot of guitar people impress me anymore, and also I'm not really looking for it. I mean, as I said, I spent a lot of time listening to, crew cut George Jones and before. A lot of Lefty Frizzell, Hank Williams. These guitar players were playing guitar because it was the song. Once again, it was not a show-off thing. And I don't know, I just really haven't, I'm not really up on the current new wave of hot young players because I'm not a hot young player and I don't give a crap at all. I mean, the guitar is more of an extension of my life, and I don't really do it for, it's really not to attract attention to myself, it's a piece of a puzzle, and that's how I listen to music. And the guitar players I like the best historically tend to be the ones who do the right thing at the right time, and the wrong thing, you do the right thing at the right time, and not playing is so often more powerful than playing. It's why I like Keith Richards. It's why I like Malcolm Young. It's why I like Greg Hudson.
Well, what you do, I don't know, do you think that in the kind of music that you play with Bad Religion, there's that kind of strange complementary relationship between guitarists and singers? I mean, obviously the rhythm section is very, very, very important, but there's that, you look at all those Axl and Slash and Keith
Yeah.
and Nick and, Steve and Joe and blah. Is that less important in playing punk rock, or is it just different?
It's completely unimportant in playing punk rock. The marketing of the Terrible Twins or the Toxic Twosome or whatever moniker you're going to put to the, basically when that happens, it's the two good-looking guys. I mean, that's all it is. It's all that myth is unnecessary, and I mean, it's Bad Religion's a whole different animal. I mean, look, I am rallying. It's a cause and a band, and it's really not about forging a specific relationship with a singer. I like the idea that the singer's his own entity, and in our case, he certainly is. I mean, the Nutty Professor guy, who really is what he is. I mean, he walks the walk and talks the talk, and my job is to hook up with the other four guys, the musicians in the band, and provide the platform for him. And it's a great place to be. Everything I do myself, unless I'm too busy to do it. I mean, the only modifications I would ever make is just changing a pickup, which anybody can do, a child can do, or changing the tuners. The only thing I don't know how to do is fretwork, or I don't like to mess with a truss rod because I've ruined some guitars doing it. And it's really not, I'm not a technical wizard, but these are really, as I said, this thing was designed 50 years ago. They're pretty simple. It just all screws together. So, yeah, I do my own stuff, but I just had my tour guitars refretted by someone who actually knows how to do it because I didn't want to get into that. And it involves craftsmanship and knowledge and things which I do not have.
And stuff.
Yeah.
Well, I guess that's pretty much.
Let's play this on out of here. Thank you very much. Thank you.